Check, check. Hello? Is this thing on? It looks like it's on. Hello. I am the Shy Doomer. Hey, howdy, hey. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I have a query. I have an issue. A lot of people that I talk to don't understand where at least me as a trans person is coming from. Yes, I am trans. And I would like to talk about that stuff. So this is just gonna be a quick video going over my understanding of sex and biology and gender and all that fun stuff to differentiate between sex and gender, and kind of give you a perspective, at least from me and what I've heard from other trans people, of like, why? You know? Why? So we got the beautiful paint up here, right? It's just gonna be a quickie, because like this has been a problem for a minute, because people pretend to have a conversation with you, but they're not actually wanting to have a conversation. They just want to tell you that you're wrong and that you're mentally ill. And I am mentally ill, but not because I'm trans, because I live in a hellhole of a system that wants to feast on my flesh to enrich the most powerful and wealthy in the country. But that's another story. Okay, here we go. So first things first, simple as, right? We have sex and we have gender. Now, these two things are not the same. Some people out there will be like, those are the same things. Well, if they were exactly the same thing, then the nuance of these topics would be completely flatlined to like not being able to be talked about. And that is the goal for some, but that's not the goal for here, because we want to actually understand the world. We're curious. You and I viewer, we're curious people, right? So we want to understand. So you have two circles here, right? You got sex circle and you got the gender circle. It's more of a squish. The gender's bigger. Because there's a lot to go on in the gender. It was not a mistake, I promise. But, okay, here. Sex is all biological. Right? It's biological. It's the parts that physically make you up. It's the hormones going through your flesh. It's your first, second, and third phenotypical sex characteristics. Phenotypical meaning physical. There you go. And then we got gender, which I don't have enough space. It's social. It's social stuff. Now, as you can see, that's like your what person wears what, how a person should behave. Like it's the social aspect. So like what a person wears, what a person typically is allowed to do and gets away with, the stringency of consequences for that person depending on what they do, right? So it's like, oh, do you wear dresses or do you wear pants? See, in my mindset, anyone can do any of the things as long as it's not antisocial, like toxic, harmful behaviors, right? Now, there is an overlap. It's a very small overlap. And the overlap is all social, but it's what society dictates one must do. One must do this because they are this biology. Boys must not wear dresses. Girls may not show their ankles, or therefore they will be a whore. Those things, right? It's when people attach the social to the biological, And that's where a lot of people get a little confused when they're like, oh, they're exactly the same thing. They overlap. There's no difference. Because in their eyes, if you're allowed to choose and be the person you want to be, not dictated by what was between your legs at birth, that's a lot of freedom, and that's scary. And then you have to think, is the person I am today like who I wanted to be, who I really am, or am I just following orders? See, that stuff's scary, right? So we got sex and gender. It's pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. I know you can understand it because you're a lot smarter than I am, viewer. You got a big noodle, and I know you get that. I know you got that. Even if you disagreed with me before, I know you can understand that because you got a big noodle. Okay. Now let's go into the gender aspect, because sex is simple. That's like gonads, chromosomes, hormonal, even like the normative, not normative, there are certain aspects that are considered male and female, but that's only because it's typical. It's not like 100% on, and it's like not, oh, they don't have this, so they are not male or female. It's typically seen in high numbers on one side or the other, right? So let's continue a little bit more with sex, actually. So a lot of people think sex is a binary. You got here, let's get a square. Yeah. This is a very boxed in way of thinking. That's why we're using squares. It's binary. Binary meaning ones and zeros. There's only two options. Only two. There cannot be any more. There cannot be more. And this is the, let's say, the cat. I cannot draw with MS and paint. I cannot draw with paint. I'm sorry. I do my best. Okay, there's the cat. This is the cat category. And this is the snake category. So they think that there's only two categories. The cat category and the snake category. Right? But in actuality, the things that we determine sex to be is more than just the cat and the snake. It's more than that. It's a lot more than that. There's more than just like what's in between thy legs, right? It's and there's some people that don't have perfectly one or the other, so they're like, so then there's like a weird crunched up category in the middle that doesn't work. There's a random, this is 1 and this is 0, and now we're just throwing in 2s, and that now it's not a binary. The computer doesn't work. The system has a failure. We have red circle of death going on here, right? Binary 2. Oh, intersex, that exists? Doesn't work. And it really doesn't work because it's not just the gonads. It's also the chromosomes, right? And there's like multiple chromosomes. There's like XX, XY, everyone knows those, right? But some people have an active SRY gene on the XX, or their SRY gene on the Y doesn't work. So those are called, those people that would typically, due to their chromosomes, be like male or female, are actually the opposite of their chromosomes because the SRY gene is doing a little bit of gooberin', doing a little bit like, haha, gotcha, lol. So they end up becoming the opposite of what is typical, right? Real quick, boom, little bit here and there. So if sex is not binary, if sex has more than that, how do you determine sex? Well, with a distributive system of, where's the eraser? Ah, there it is. Be gone. With a distributive system of bimodal, which is a line. Pretend this is a straight line. It's the straightest line I can make. Being a woman lover, okay? Being a woman and loving women, this is the straightest line I can make, okay? So, how do we do that? Whoa. That's not supposed to be under, but you get the point. So this is the cat category. Meow. And this is the snake category. Hiss, hiss. See, now we do have two that is like most people, but it gives us space to have like leniency of like variation, because we look at more than just the gonads. Like I said before, we have the chromosomes, we have different some cisgender male men have been born with uteruses. Some cisgender women with a cat, they are born without uteruses. So there's like a variation. There's like in the betweens. You got your femboys, your feminine men, your men characteristics, and then the masculine women. It's like hair distribution even. It's about what's typical. And sometimes it's really pushed with the beauty standards, which I don't think is right, but you know. We all know that one guy, and if you put a wig on them and then put them in a dress, like they'd be the prettiest girl at the club. And we also know that one girl that could literally suplex you in half, right? Those are male and masculine and feminine characteristics within the biology, right? Or like what we determined are these things. Because at the end of the day, we chose the categories. They're all made up. Humans made them up, right? So now we have these. We got the strong lady in the dress. Big muscular strong lady flexing in the dress. This is so bad. And then we got the boy kisser here. See, we got the boy kisser. We all know what the boy kisser is, right? We got the boy kisser. He's a snail somehow. Okay. And then in here, more in here is like intersex. So people that are born with like the XY, but have the opposite of what you can consider the norm when it comes to their genitalia or other sex characteristics. We have the people that are born with a mismatch of both. Like it's not fully one, it's not fully the other. Because at the end of the day, the hormone washing in the uterus is what determines how that Play-Doh is all put together, right? Like all the stuff down there gets put together depending on the hormone washing when you're in the uterus. So sometimes the Play-Doh gets two people instead of one sculptor sculpting. Sometimes it gets a little bit too much of two people working on it, and it doesn't come out quite exactly what the project was determined for it, and it's a little bit somewhere here, somewhere there, but not where it should be, right? And that's fine. People are born like that. They're perfectly fine. You live your life. You're beautiful. Do what you want to do with your flesh. It is your vessel. Go ahead. All right. So yeah, boom, blam, bimodal. That's enough about sex. I'm not a biologist. There's actual biologists that can explain this a lot more, better than I could ever. Yeah, here we go. This is the fun part. This is the fun part because this is all made up land. This is, people are so psychotic, they think this is like real. Like it has to be this way. This is how things are. But this is all just made up, right? This is just all made up, and that is gender. Wow. Once again, it's the social aspects. Now, the very smart, intelligent viewer that I am asking a question to that is actually going to answer my question. Plate of hot truth. Thanks, Monstrously. Very smart, intelligent viewer that I am asking to, like, I can hear you. Say it with me. What is a boy supposed to be like? When I asked that question, you probably had thoughts, feelings, and even images flash in your head of what a boy is. What about a man? What about a girl? What about a woman? Now, determined of where you are from, these things are different, actually, because it's all social. If somehow, some way, some beautiful individual from, like, I don't know, Russia, or even like North Korea. If someone from North Korea somehow watched this video, do you think their thought of what a man and a woman and a boy and a girl and like the feelings associated it and the like what you're supposed to, like what you are expected to be if you are those things, do you think those are the same? No. Do you think they were the same like 100 years ago? No. Because the founding fathers would be called fruity individuals if they lived nowadays. They wore big heeled shoes, poofy shoulder and leg shirts, corsets, powdered wigs, and makeup. Back then, it actually was illegal for women to wear makeup. In some places, like in, I'm pretty sure it was Britain and in America, whenever it was the colonies still. Yeah. Women were not allowed to. No bueno. That's a manly thing. Wearing makeup, that's for men. Specifically, royal men. So let's see. We have gender overall. If you think for 5 seconds, which I know you can, viewer, you'll come to the conclusion that it's just ever-changing, all made up nonsense of what people think is acceptable or do to fit in or is the norm, right? So, yeah. Gender. We have cisgender people. And then we have transgender. So, whoop, I forgot the N. See, I told you. Trans. There we go. So this gender, you're either cisgender or you're transgender. You either, within this silly made up existence of norms in our society, subscribe to what is typical and what is expected at birth, or you say no to that. You're like, I am my person. Doing that makes me uncomfortable. I am not who you say I am or want me to be, and I am going to do what I want to do because fuck you, that's why. See, there's nothing wrong with either. You can be fulfilled in living the gender norms that were assigned to you at birth. And we talk about norms not as in like it's normal, as in like good. We're talking about norm as in like it's what is like typical to be seen, norm, right? Or you can say no, fuck you, I do me. See, I subscribe to the no, fuck you, I do me, you know? I think that's pretty based. I like that. I like saying fuck you, I do me. I don't like the things that I did when I was trying to be what people wanted me to be. I don't like the person I was, how I looked, how I behaved. I didn't like any of that. I didn't fit in. It was like a fighting battle to try to play a character 24/7 of my life. No. I'm not that good at acting. I'd rather just be the wallflower at that point, which I was. So I decided to break away and go here. Now, my cis brothers and sisters out there, my cis friends, my cis goobers even, I bet you can understand what it's like to look in the mirror and say, I wish I was more fit. I wish I had a different haircut. I wish I had more hair. I wish I had less hair. I wish that my hair color was different. I wish that my bone structure was different. I wish these things we can all understand, right? Some people go to the gym because they want themselves to better themselves. To me, a guy going to the gym because they want to fit the the social norm of like real men are muscular in their head, right? Real men are muscular, tough. Like if they have that thought in their head and they're going to the gym, that's gender affirming care in my eyes. That is exactly the same thing, but I'm just going the opposite direction from where we both started. You're like, real men are muscular, so I'm gonna go to the gym and bulk up. And I'm like, power to you, bro. Gender affirming care. That's awesome. I hope you get the gains that you're looking for. It's the same, right? With women, if they want to fit the beauty standard better, like the socially accepted beauty standards, that is going in the same direction of gender affirming care, but like deeper into you being cis, right? It's cis gender affirming care. Hair implants for bald guys, gender affirming care. Waxes on women's faces because they have a little bit of mustache and peach fuzz, which all women have, gender affirming care. See, for some reason in our society, these things are acceptable. Going deeper and fulfilling the role thrusted upon you at birth, that is acceptable. But saying, no, I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to go the direction that feels most comfortable to me, which is against the grain of what is expected, is not acceptable. And at the end of the day, why is that? Why is it okay for you to be what society expects? And why is it not okay to be not what society expects? Think about that question. Type your answer in the comments below or the chat. Yeah, why waste your time pretending? Trying to keep up with chat? I think it might be lagging or something. Why waste your time pretending? So, because we have this thing called patriarchy. Now, patriarchy isn't all guys are above women. Patriarchy actually looks more like this. So you got your pyramid, right? Patriarchy, here's the 1%. Here's the people that own everything, that dictate the laws, you know. They're social influencers, they're the billionaires, they're the 1%. And then under that, also to note, they're the men. They're the men here. And under that are the women 1%. I'm gonna do draw a little go into the bathroom girl sign. Boom. Under that is the women 1% or ultra wealthy. Under that are men. And under that are... Wow, man. Wow, man. So you can also add other categories like race, sexuality. You could add other categories to this and it would look a little bit different, but this is just a 101. This is just intermediate, right? This is just intermediate for those who need a video to explain to others or like get the thoughts that they've had out and a starting point for their own beliefs and a synopsis of the whole topic at hand, right? So once again, you can add other things like race, sexuality, yada 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 yada. Now, by being, let's say we have a AFAB person. This is assigned female at birth. That's what that means. AFAB is someone that wants to go here to here. Do you think that should be allowed? Do you think you should just be allowed to like choose that, hey, no, actually I'm a part of this category, even though the rules of this silly system dictate that I'm here? Do you think that would work with the system? No, the system would break. Same thing with AMAB. Someone here can't just go down here. What is going on here? You can't just choose where to be on this. The hierarchy is there. It is staunchly defended because if not, these people might lose their gain on your brainwashing. You can't just choose where you want to be. That's silly. That's silly. And then some people might come in and be like, oh, it's actually my religion. And I'm like, who do you think wrote the book on this thing right here? Who do you think wrote the book on this pyramid? The rules and guidelines on this pyramid. Of course they think this, but they just are deluded and believe like, oh, up here is God actually. Whenever like their book is completely ignored within the system, other than like the cherry pick things that make it like legit, right? We can't allow people to like either go up or down, and that is the reason why AMAB is targeted more, because you're looking at someone saying, wait, you weren't the bottom of the barrel on the pyramid, and you're choosing to be the bottom of the barrel of the pyramid? Are you crazy? You choose to want to be the bottom of the barrel. You want to be the lowest of the low when you had male privilege? What is going on? And they see the people that are AFAB and they're like, oh, we get why you would want to raise the ranks, but like you're not allowed here. Like you still belong down there. Like you think you can just raise the ranks by like looking the part and acting the part and believing that you are the part? Can't just allow that. You're trying to free trying to free yourself from the shackles of patriarchy. We can't allow that. And in actuality, In actuality, it's pretty simple. It's pretty fucking simple, right? You have a person. We have gender. We have cis. Cis just ends here. Boom, done. Nothing else, nothing. Then we have trans. Now, under that, we have 3 different categories. AFAB, NB, and AMAB. All right. All these 3 categories mean a lot of different things, but they are exactly the same. It is someone saying, nope, I am breaking away from the system and I'm going to be who I am more comfortable being. Why these people do it? Who fucking cares? Why is this such a big deal? Why is it such a big deal for someone to get to choose who they want to be? Right? As long... You know? Who actually cares? But I can explain for me, for example. There's this thing called dysphoria. Crazy, right? You probably heard of it. So, dysphoria is having like a disassociative, negative feeling towards oneself. In this case, specifically based upon either your sex characteristics or what is expected of you with gender norms. Most of my dysphoria comes from my sex characteristics. So, in a way of like the cis guy that wants to be seen as more of a man, and they're like a little scrawny twig, and they go to the gym and they bulk up. Like they got the little cartoon arm going on. They got the little cartoon arm going on, and they're like, "Aw, man, I'm not a real man because real men are actually really strong. I should look like this." Wow, that's a big, strong, manly man with a boxing glove. I should look like this. That's what a real man looks like. But the same thing, the sex characteristics that I have made me very uncomfortable. My earliest memories are ones of thinking that I was going to grow up to be like the women in my family, or that I've been like a part of my whole life, right? Like I saw myself growing up to be like them, looking, dressing, and I was more interested in that kind of stuff. If I ever was like, oh yeah, let's be a boy, yeah, woo, we're being boy stuff, it's because I wanted to make people happy. Or I was just too small to like think for myself, so I just did what was like told of me, right? But as soon as puberty hit, it was negative emotions. It was literally no. Cis people can understand like the uncomfortableness of going through puberty, like having your body change, like, oh no, I have acne now, and oh, my body is changing, that's so crazy. But they don't understand the body horror of being in the wrong flesh and having that wrong flesh become more and more and more wrong. You know, like how in a horror film you get like people that get like trans modified, like they literally become into like a slime ball, like they get melted or something, like acid spills on them and they become like a giant pile of mush. That's what it feels like. Like every day you're just knowing eventually you'll be this pile of mush that you don't recognize and you don't like. You look at the person in the mirror and you're like, that's not me. I hate this thing. What is that? You don't see yourself. You don't see a future because you're not yourself. You're playing a character. You're like 24/7 role playing to fit in, and no, that's no bueno. No one should live that way. Neither should the cis people. Cis people, if you want to do stuff, you can be cis. You can be cis and feminine, man. You can be cis and like a masculine woman. Do you? Fucking do you, right? So these three categories are going against the grain. No bueno. That's why they target specifically they don't believe AFAB people even exist. They treat them like women still. They're like, oh, you're just being silly. You're just, ha ha ha, you're silly Willy. We're not taking you seriously and we're not listening to you. You know, it's just misogyny. And then AMAB people is the big target because they are going against the grain and like lowering themselves on the totem pole, right? So why? Because it's uncomfortable to not seek out gender affirming care. That's why we do it. Because it makes us feel more comfortable. And at the end of the day, who fucking cares? And why do people target us? Because they want to keep up the hierarchy. The oppressive, stupid, silly hierarchy that was upheld and created by the most powerful among us a long time ago. Any questions? Let me just take a sippy break. I've been yapping a lot. I need to like wind down and take a sip. Okay. Now we understand gender, cis, trans. I want to explain a little bit better in the way that I can about the different type of trans people. So, to me, there are two categories of trans people. This is an outdated term, but I'm going to utilize it because it sounds correct when I explain my like. It's like an outdated term, but it's like I'm co-opting that shit and I'm making it into something that can make sense to others, right? So TS is for transsexual. TG is for transgender. Now the thing is, not every transgender person changes their sex characteristics. Some of them are absolutely fine with it. These would be considered like the femboys, the tomboys, like anyone that goes against like the normative grain of like your gender and what is expected of you based upon your biology, right? And then transsexual is transitioning or changing your sex characteristics. So not every transgender person is a transsexual, but every transsexual is transgender kind of thing. See, this has an X. I'll put a red X on it. not every transgender person is transsexual, but every transsexual is transgender. This would also be considered like someone that like you've known your whole life, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'm non-binary, I don't associate with either genders, and I'm just gonna like change up my wardrobe a little bit. That happens. People are like that. I know multiple people like that. Or they don't even change their wardrobe either. They're just like, I don't associate with man or woman because those categories are silly and stupid and only benefit the oppression of people. And I'm like, power to you, fam. I don't care. Like, you do you, right? So once again, now that we have a couple examples of transgender, not every transgender person is transsexual, but almost every transsexual person is transgender. Like, all transsexual people are transgender, right? These people are equally valid. They're equally valid. I need more sippy sip. Okay. Now, we understand this. Is it possible that some people that are considered cis by many are actually here, at least throughout time? Because they didn't have the language that I'm using right now, which it's fine, language changes. Like, poggers wasn't a thing when I was like a child yet. Poggers did not exist. I was not playing Game Boy Color saying, wow, poggers, when Mario was beating the mushroom men, you know? That's not a thing I said. I probably said something like radical or coolio or something like that. If we look even in the early 21st century or the late 20th century, you'll see a trend of women start wearing pants. Scandalous, I know, right? Women wearing pants instead of dresses. Now, this thing really occurred and was normalized and okayed whenever all the men went to war in America. The factories needed to still be running. That's where we get this picture of like the lady, and she's like flexing and she's like, we can do it. That's where we get that image. You know, she has the headband and she's just like, we can do it, flexing hard, strong woman power. Yes, strong woman power. Whenever women had to go to the factory to work while the men were away to war, and this is in multiple different countries, mind you, which is better to work in a factory, wearing a long, flowy, pretty expensive dress, or just some blue jeans? Blue jeans. Overalls. That stuff. Duh. Now, whenever it was like okay for them to wear out work, do you think it was gonna be like, oh, no, now that the men's are back, you're not allowed to do it? No, you've already broken the seal. You've already broken the seal to being able to allow the femoids, or whatever the incels call them, the women, they broke the seal to unlock this wardrobe for the character of woman. You know? That is why things are changing, even now, compared to when I was like a child. Like, things are different now. Things are different for you. They'll be even more different in another 10, 20 years. Things constantly change. Fashion changes. What is allowed socially changes. This is why I'm trying to say this is all made up. The people back then that went against the norm before this break would be considered transgender. They were treated the same. Women that wore, it was actually illegal in New York to own more, like, if you were male assigned at birth, you would have been arrested if you owned, I think, more than 3 articles of women's clothing. You would go to jail for that. It was socially unacceptable for women to wear these things. And they were put into insane asylums, or they were arrested, or they were beaten. They were considered no different. Just because they wore shorts, just because they wore suits, and they behaved a little bit more not what, like the, oh husband dearest, I made you a pie for after work. I love you, dear. It's whatever, you know what I mean, like the, of course, hubby, you know, like that shit, you know. All right, I don't know, I'm not sure how to exactly wrap this up, but what I will do to wrap this up is to say, don't be a cuck. Do not be a cuck to the system. Do not be a cuck. Don't do it. Why subscribe to a hierarchy where you're lower on the totem pole just because you might be higher than a couple other people? Who's this really benefiting? Are you better off because people are being oppressed based on their sex or gender? How does that benefit you on a daily basis? Now you can tie in like whatever bullshit excuse, like, oh, my religion, or oh, it ain't normal, or oh, they're pedophiles. But that shit doesn't slide as much anymore, because we're seeing what's happening in the world right now. People that aren't deluded and so far gone that they're looking the other way to all this cabal, baby eating stuff from the Epstein files. Right? Who's the real problem here? Or is it the trans people? Is it the gay people? Is it the minority? Is it the women? Or are you just being a cuck and duped to defend the undefensible? Because in my eyes, you seem like a pawn. And with that, I will say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this short little thing. I don't know what I'm high on life right now. I'm just vibing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. If there is any questions, I'll redo this again better. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful day and a wonderful tomorrow. Adios.